Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie and today I am exposing my bad habits and I'm doing the book buying habits tag. So I wasn't tagged by anyone, but I saw this on Amber's channel and I was like, well, I have to do that. So here we are today. And let's jump straight into the questions. Number one is, where do you buy your books from? So when we're not in lockdown, primarily Dymocks, which is a chain bookstore here in Australia. I guess kind of our equivalent of, say, Waterstones or Barnes & Noble, but obviously not to that size because everything is smaller here. But also I buy a lot of books via my best friend. She's a manager in a bookstore, so if there's ever something I really struggle to find, I definitely get it from her. But also whenever I go and see her, I always end up walking out with like 10 books, so whoops. And then I also get books online from Angus and Robertson, which is an online bookstore here in Australia, and a couple of different indie stores as well when I can. I of course buy all of my ebooks or get all of my ebooks from Amazon, and yeah, that's kind of it, I think. Number two is, do you ever pre-order books, and if so, do you do this in store or online? I've started pre-ordering books, I'd say in the last year and a bit. I was always worried about doing it because I was like, okay, but like, what if I move? And now that we're in lockdown and that we were in such a long lockdown last year, I was less nervous about it. So I mostly do this online, whether this be through Angus and Robertson or Amazon, and yeah, and if I do it in person, it's always via Angel. So yeah, it depends really on the book and that, whether we're in lockdown, really. Number three is, on average, how many books do you buy a month? So I am going off, I have a spreadsheet where I track all of the books I read, but also all of the books that I buy and also the ones that I unhaul. So this year, on average, I have bought 25.1 books a month. But in my defense, in May I bought almost 50 books because I was at a book festival, and also May is just a bad mental health month for me, so I tend to buy a lot of stuff. So yeah, that went a little overboard, but trying to bring it back now that we're sort of coming towards the end of the year. We'll see how it works. October is my birthday, so I intend to buy the things. 4 is, do you use your local library? No. Mostly because my local library is like a 10 to 15 minute walk, which is fine, but I physically can't manage that most days. So it's more of the like, yeah, I can walk down and get books, but I don't know if by the time they're due I'm going to feel well enough to go and return them. So I try not to, but there is a library near work that I can, it's literally like I have to pass it to go to work. So I was borrowing things from there pre-lockdown, and I will borrow things from there post-lockdown. I'm not so super great with using libraries because I always feel like if I read the book and then I really love it, I'll want to buy it anyway. So yeah. 5 is, what is your opinion on library books? I love library books, like I think it's a great idea, and I used to use the library a lot when I was a teenager, the school library, the local library, and all that sort of thing. And I feel like it's such a great resource, especially here in Australia, or at least here in Victoria. Most libraries are free to join and whatnot, and a lot of them recently have gotten rid of like fines and things. So yeah, I think it's a great idea, and yeah, it's like literally if the library was a little bit closer, I would be there all the time. Hi Percy. Number 6 is, how do you feel about secondhand books? Again, I love secondhand books. Like, I really don't care about, I'm not going to say I don't care about the condition of my books, but I don't mind if they look like they've been a little bit loved. And I keep pretty good condition of the books that I've bought myself that are like new. But if I buy a lot of romance secondhand, I don't really care what they look like. As long as it's readable, I don't mind if it's a little bit like bent out of shape or, things like that. As long as I can read it, then I'm happy. Number 7 is, do you keep your TBR pile on your main bookshelves or no? Yes and no, obviously. If you've seen my vlogs, this is kind of my TBR pile. Kind of at like the given time, whether that be for like that week or that month or just, for an event. This is like September, so like Book-Up-a-thon, Magical Readathon, and Because We Can. But I don't really have a TBR pile at the same time. Like, I consider all of my TBR books to be my TBR pile, so they are on my main bookshelf. But like, I also have this pile. So yeah. Number 8 is, do you plan to read all the books you own? Yes, I do. I've kind of spoken about this before because I have quite a big TBR. We're looking at like 250 right now. And I'm not one of those people that like keeps hold of books that I don't plan to read. Everything on my shelf is that hasn't been read. I do plan to read, and if I have read it, then I would one day reread it, basically. So keeping that in mind, I'm not like, okay, this is on my shelf, so I have to read it. Like, if I come to a book and I suddenly don't have the urge to read it anymore, and in like I don't think I'm ever gonna want to read this. Oh my god. Hey, Bob, can I talk to you about something? Can I talk to you about something? Can I talk to you? Thank you. What was I saying? Yeah, if I'm not gonna read something, I'm gonna get rid of it, basically. Okay, 9. What do you do with books you feel you will never read, did not enjoy? Like I just said, I unhaul them. I give them away. I don't know what his deal is right now. Yeah, I give them away. Number 10, have you ever donated books? Yes. I donate all of the books that I unhaul to my dad's partner, who is a English teacher. So they all go to a high school library, or to her if they're not appropriate. And yeah. Number 11 is, have you ever been on a book buying ban? Yes, I was kind of supposed to be on one multiple times this year, and that has not really worked out. I'm realizing now that it's more of a low buy for me that works, or really questioning, like putting a book in my cart on whatever website and then being like, okay, am I going to think about this book over this next like 24 hours? Do I really want it, or do I just want to buy a book? So, and number 12, the last question, do you feel that you buy too many books? Yes. I've bought like over 200 books this year, and yeah, it's a lot. I feel like I don't read as many as I buy, but I also, it's not like a huge gap. Like most months this year I have read about the same amount of books as I have bought or I've read or unhauled. So a lot of the time, apart from a couple of months, I have ended the month with the same or less books than I started it with. So I feel like that's a decent try from me, really. And I don't know, I'm kind of one of those, I don't really buy that much else. Like, okay, Bob, like I buy food, I buy stuff for the cats, and like I pay like to use public transport when we're out of lockdown, and all of them, like the rest of my money all goes into medical stuff. So I don't feel too bad about buying books. I think that it's something that makes me happy, and yeah, so I try not to feel too guilty about it. But that is the tag today, and I'm going to tag a couple of people. So of course, tagging Angel, best friend, obviously. Tag her in everything that I possibly can. Also going to tag Mel from A Book Fiend Named Mel, again, one of my best friends. Gotta tag her in these things. And I'm also, on that note, gonna tag Lana from Lauren Lullabies, because I know that she's on a book buying ban right now, and maybe you'll benefit from this as well. And I'm also going to tag Helen from Helen's Book Haven, because I would be super interested in hearing what you've got to say. And I don't know if you've done this, but I'm also going to tag Paige from Pages with Paige, because again, I think I would really be interested in hearing your answers, or if you already have done this, I guess I'll just watch that. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.